Hey, welcome back to another book review. Today I'm going to review the 10th Insight. Now this is Holding the Vision. It's the further adventures of the Celestine prophecy, and I'm going to be straight up with you. Compared to the first book, it just doesn't have as much oomph to it. It doesn't have that oh man, oh, really gonna read this the whole way through. It was kind of more like, verged off into different topics that were kind of hard to follow for some people, I could imagine. I mean, it goes into the afterlife realms of consciousness and into these dreaming realities that are just really, can be confusing imagery wise, but I mean the topics are cool, and the aspects of you were born here with a life purpose to achieve something and some sort of reason, and you have a soul family, and a soul family has supported you throughout this time as well as many other lifetimes. But it follows the same guy from the first book. So if you haven't read the first book, read the first book first before you read this one, and maybe don't even watch this video. But yeah, it goes into this guy. Now he's back in the States, and now he's near the Appalachian Mountain, and he's looking for his girlfriend Charlene, which was the girl that was in the first book. And this time she's lost, and he's looking for her, and she's somewhere in the mountains helping this other guy who is trying to pull energy from the cosmos or whatever, these vortexes of energy in the mountains that are sacred sites, which were also sacred sites to the Native Americans that lived on there 400 years ago, until the white military individuals came and decided to use improper means to take away the land and further the format of grotesque capitalism. So I mean, it talks about the topics of health of the planet, spiritual realizations, awakening for all. It talks about protection of the the hardwood forests and things that are very important to learn about. And I quite enjoy the topics that they speak of, but the book itself was kind of it kind of just weaned off. It kind of just was going, and then it was just not that it was terrible. It wasn't terrible. It just wasn't the best. But he goes into these things where he starts to learn to hold the vision of the afterlife and connecting to what his life purpose was, as well as his friend's life purpose, and being able to see how people will visualize their life after they pass on, to figure out what they needed to do so that they could come to a full awakening in this lifetime, and how they messed up or what they did to get a full vision of their life. And then it goes into basically this group of people, this past life chieftain of a tribe, him who is also at that, and these other people who are just reincarnated in new bodies but meeting up again at the same place to fix the problem that they had so long ago. And it's basically a book on how to live in love instead of fear. And when we live in love and hold the image of love and realize that we can live a life more directed towards realization and awakening, and the health of the planet, the health of the people, giving power to the people again, and not living in fear, thinking that you have to just grab everything you can because you're not going to make it otherwise, then yeah, it was really it really brought those topics into the forefront of what they were trying to say. So it was good in that way, but the story itself could have been better. It, could have ended with a little more something, instead of just wavering off, and it's just okay, yeah, we'll see you later, something else might happen in the future. I don't know if he wrote another book or not yet, but yeah, it just kind of tapered off. So what I thought of the book, though, of the insights that they talk of, it talks about basically living with an understanding and a realization of your spiritual makeup, and how you are a spiritual being as well as everyone, and you came here with a purpose, a life goal to achieve. And every time you get reincarnated, you're just trying to work through it, and if you don't ever get through it, then how are you going to grow? You just keep, building up these own, matrices of illusions, which you can get bound to in this lifetime. So you don't want to live like in this sort of, what is it called? Not heaven, not hell, but it's called the, that middle ground area. Yeah, you know what I mean though. It's just like you build up these illusions thinking that you have to work this day-to-day job, you can't do anything else, and you can never have experiences, and then when you pass on, you didn't do anything with your life, and you get to see all that, and you're like, why did I waste my life? Why didn't I follow my goal? That my goal was, before I came here, was to help people heal, and all I did was hurt people all along the way. And it helps you really, consciously bring that into your awareness, So the topics were good. The, imagery, the setting was pretty. The story, though, just didn't follow through, as much as the first book did. So, yeah, I would recommend it, but don't have your expectations as high as the first book in the series, because, I already stated why. But definitely interesting book, fun to read, by James Redfield, The 10th Insight. Have a lovely rest of your day. Namaste.